Welcome back.
Well, howdy.
We haven't had a podcast in a minute.
It has been a while.
It has been a while. Was it before Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, you disappeared for us. So what y'all been getting into? I know Tavion's been playing a lot of YuGiOh.
Tavion's been going
Yeah,
crazy,
we've
What you been
man.
doing?
We've all been playing a lot.
Yeah.
I have not been playing a lot.
I've played very little.
Catch me at Vancouver.
Well, me, Logan, and Gage have been playing a lot.
Been grinding like crazy, boys.
How's that been going for you guys?
So far so good.
First in world's points, so good.
First in world
so
points.
good.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Currently 146. We also got these two. They're also in the top 16 right now.
Let's go.
In 7th and 15th place.
Shit.
Good
So
boys, got some numbers.
We rocking.
yeah, we've been going every weekend so far, and I've topped 3 out of 4 events. And then be continuing that. These two are going to Nashville this weekend, and I'll be going to Vancouver. Wish us luck there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
they're going to Nashville. We're going to Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm probably
yeah.
most
Yeah.
likely going to Nashville. I'm hoping to.
Oh,
So.
see these two at the end, top tables, you know?
Yeah, we played Pearly last weekend. I've been playing Rescue Ace, and Pearly was cool and all, but it's not really my style.
Mm.
So I'm going back to the Fire Hydrant.
I've been playing
We
the
will-
Baphomet deck a lot. The Chimera Fusion braided pile of cards. It's very sweet. It gets to do a lot of really cool things. I'm hoping in the new set I get to have even more fun with it, but I don't think I'm going to play that this weekend. I think I'm going to play Rescue Ace or Unchained or Pearly. One of the three.
I've been playing Cash every weekend. Same deck I've played since Philly, when I first started playing it. It's been very easy, and like where we went to every event, like some of them been 7 hours away. I like the matchups last 15 minutes one way or the other. You either win quick or you lose quick. There's no in between. So that way I have like 30 minutes after every round to like rest and stuff.
That's a strategist.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. I kind of decided I didn't want to lose the drill no more.
Yeah.
People are playing that for some odd reason.
Icky card.
So, I spoke to my man over here and we done the swap to the Wee-Woo.
Wee woo. Something
But,
about it, boy.
yeah.
Something about it.
Gage is
Made me
all
feel
about
good.
Got 10th place this past weekend.
That X1
You know, we
10th place
punted
goal.
in the end. Should have got second, but it happens, you know. It happens.
We live, we learn.
Yeah.
On to the next.
Your first day playing it.
Yeah, I told Gage came up to me after the Indianapolis regional, and he's like, "Dude, I'm so tired of Manadome. I'm getting tired of getting hand trapped to death." And I'm like, "Bro, you always play the mid range decks. Why are you not playing Rescue Ace?" He's like, "I don't know." Proceeds to run over to the vendors and buy the entire deck. So, hey, he's done better with Rescue Ace than he has with Manadome.
That's for
Yep.
sure.
And in one event,
That is for sure.
where have you been?
I've been in California, baby.
Wow,
Um,
man.
The like 5 California duelists that I met that are really cool. Don't take this the wrong way. Knoxville's so much better, bro. Like Knoxville dueling is so much better than LA dueling, dude. There are a couple really cool people that I met, but I'm glad to be back. Like there was one locals that I played at, and I was just like, afterwards I was like, I texted everybody here. I'm like, I miss you guys. I appreciate you guys so much more now.
Yeah, people don't. I guess like where we're always at like a super hopper like competitive locals. I guess like we don't
We thought
really
every locals would
understand.
be like that.
Yeah, like not everywhere is like that, you know.
It's it's wild, but LA's cool. Glad to be back. We're gonna start grinding now. Went to the regional last weekend. Did horribly.
I'm sorry.
I haven't played in a couple of months, so. But we're grinding this week, so hopefully this weekend we'll put in some work. We need that matching another verse map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to get another one. And like that segues into our next thing, goals for the year and stuff. So I know my goal is to my biggest goal is to go to Worlds through the playoffs. That's why we're doing this. Other goals is to win a prize card at a YCS, and I want to top every YCS I go to this year. Just collect the mats.
I like it. I like it. Hard work, and I'm really excited to get some YCS tops under my belt. Definitely gonna go to Indy, and hopefully we get some more announced that are pretty close, easy to travel to. I'm super happy that we got another verse card. I thought another verse dragon was one of the sickest things that we've received in a while. Just a vanilla prize card, flavor text is sick. The art's really cool. It's just got its own I don't know, its own world of being sweet. And then we have another verse card, which means all the other verse cards just have this glory built into them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is very YuGiOh.
I think the new Anotherverse mat is probably one of the best looking mats they've made in
it's so
many
nice.
years.
Straight up, I'm gonna be playing on that
It's
thing.
so
That's
nice.
my dang goal.
I thought this one was beautiful, but the new one's so good,
It's so
dude.
sick.
Yeah.
What about your goals, Gage?
Well, I'd like to get one of these. Still
Mm.
need the YCS top. I'd like to win a regional. As long as I'm not playing Dylan Fox round 7 or anything like that. We should be alright.
Pancratoff evenly
crazy.
cooks
Must
him
be
every
nice.
time, boys.
Must be nice.
Okay, the
Go
amount
on,
of
Guud violence,
the
brother.
amount of regionals that we have had 2 people playing in the finals at table 1 is insane.
Regionals, my man, the YCS. Violence. I played Noah Basiso, the biggest YCS I've ever played in my
Noah
life.
played
round
2 of Noah played 2 of them. Noah played you, and was it you?
He had to play
Yeah.
me,
That's insane.
It's nuts.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy.
He said regionals. Speaking of Guud in the finals, shout out to Bo.
Shout out
Bo,
Bo,
was
man.
Louisville regional dude.
Bo slopped me up in the finals.
Me and Tavion were the 7-0s going into it, and I was out in Ohio working, and I was so hyped the entire time for my boys. I just was, would hear a little inkling of how they were doing, and
He messaged me
excited.
earlier the week before, and he's like, "Help me with my deck. I want to do well." And me, Tavion, and Lou all looked at his deck, critiqued it, got it to a clean looking list that he was happy with, but we were also happy with.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
got what he wanted. He wanted more traps. We figured out a way to make it good, but still have more traps. And
recipe for success.
won a
For
regional.
let me tell you, man, went 8-0.
If you haven't looked at that list too, look at it.
He got some sick stuff.
I hear Solemn Strike's a pretty good card.
Some of my
man.
Solemn Strike. He's playing Solemn Strike, Skill Drain.
I told him Solemn Strike was better than a lot of the other cards, and then he beat me in the last round with it. So
Yeah,
it's well deserved.
we were talking, and he was wanting to do Imperm, I think, and we're just like, dude, Strike's just so much better than Imperm, bro. If you set, you're already setting back row, you don't want to Imperm on your own turn, so just set the back row, hit him with Strike, and there's just
The
cook.
cooking, boy. The cooking.
That Lance does nothing to that
2016
Strike. Let me
finals,
tell
I'm
you.
gonna tell you. Going down with the Lance.
Every comment I've seen on that video is just this is the cleanest lab list I've seen. It's been crazy. Everybody's
Feels good.
loved it.
I'm glad
So.
people.
Well, I'd
You got
be
successful
expecting to
people.
play y'all towards the end of the regionals, man. But it's the YCS hate for me.
So what's your goal?
Yeah,
this
Luke, what are you
season,
trying to do,
Yeah,
Mr.
what you-
Vancouver?
Yeah.
I want a prize card.
I love it. I love it.
I'll have to look back and see what my goal for last year was. I think it was topping a YCS.
We knocked
did
it out
that.
of the park.
We did
Knocked-
that.
Didn't just do that. He did it and ran it back and done it again. Don't downplay it.
So I'm trying to get a prize card. So top 4,
Top 3.
top 3. I mean, you think I'm in 4th place? Come on. Who do you think I am? Who do you think I am?
Don't jinx it.
Andy's gonna be your
I would never live it down. So
That. Just
try. I want a prize card. And I want to go to Weiss Worlds this year too.
Weiss World.
That's not a YuGiOh goal, but we're gonna go there this year. That's it.
My goal this year is I want to finally top nationals. I have never topped nationals.
That is
I
one
have
of my
lost the last round of nationals 4 times. So I would love to finally top nationals. Preferably go to worlds, but that's something that
Step one.
you got to top the event before you can get to the final glory or whatever.
Juicy.
Other than that, obviously win a YCS or top more. That's pretty generic. But I want to also do really well in One Piece because that's going to be my secondary child that I'm doing. I'm doing a little my off time when I got freedom of YuGiOh. You can't YuGiOh 24/7. So
Nah, you're wrong.
One
Yeah,
Piece-
you definitely can.
you can't. You got to step away and
Me and Fox, we be Yu-Gi-Oh! In 24/7, baby.
I like me some dual monsters. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, that's my goal. I would like to top the One Piece regional upcoming and whenever it is. I don't even know. They'll let me know.
2 weeks.
Like 2 weeks or something. I don't know.
Wow.
And then yeah, I'm not going to Vancouver, so I don't. Hope you guys do well, but other
Yeah,
than
but
that, I
boys
don't.
crush.
If you guys don't do well, I don't care about the event.
Mm-hmm.
But after
Canada.
the event,
Let me tell
you know, it's getting close to a ban list, boys.
Yeah.
something about a ban list. What do you think? What do you think could even fall on a list of banning?
Hey, before the ban list,
Hopefully, it's
what's
some of these cards.
what's Fox's goals?
It's,
Because
you know,
I haven't heard that.
What did you say?
Probably
well,
this
I
one.
did a little dabble, but my real goals, though, man, I want to top every YCS that I enter. You know what I'm saying? I need to put the work in, and if I put the work in, I don't see why I can't get that result. And I look top nationals. I bomb nationals every year. My preparations are terrible. I always go for like the comfortable. I ain't put time into. I need to stop being a big baby and just do what I believe in. Trust in my gut.
So another goal that I have that might, you know, align with Fox's goal. At the beginning of this season, me and Fox have we've been in all the same testing groups, but we've never actually like worked together, like specifically. And one of the things we talked about, and we've always been like one of the better players in our area. So this season we've decided to become a duo that we're gonna grind hard.
Oh,
And
drama
my goal
duo,
is
baby.
for the Kite Fox duo to be like known as like one of the best duos in YuGiOh.
We're gonna make
So-
it happen, baby. Keep cooking.
All right.
So on to
about
this
this ban
ban
list.
list. Okay. All right. So what do you guys want to see? Obviously, you were just talking some smack about the cash.
I want to see Shifter Band.
Peace, baby.
So I can play Chair Element again.
Honestly, though, bro.
Honestly.
I like the idea of
A few
that.
more ban cards on that.
Honestly, I don't have beef with Shifter. I don't know what people do, but I have been able to weather the storm and endure a Shifter many a time. I have survived more Shifters than I've lost matches to, I guess is what I'll say. I do feel like I would like to see something done to a Rise Heart. I feel like I don't particularly dislike the Cash Tier deck. I think those big monsters that do really cool things and brick sometimes, it's like in line with what it should be doing. But when it's like a super uphill battle and, you know, your deck building kind of warps around cards like a Rise Heart, I feel like if the deck didn't have it, it'd still be a good, meaty deck. It'd make some stuff happen, but you don't have this, like, you know, game warper, bro.
Honestly, I think if they just banned a Rise Heart, it would still be the best deck.
I think it'd be real good, but I think it's so close to, you know, being in the middle. That
If they
I
really
can see
want to,
getting
like, kill the deck, I'd just ban Fenrir.
Fenriz's.
I think that's what's going to happen, man. Like, they're either going to have to hit into the ground like Tier, which the deck isn't going to survive like Tier because it doesn't have, like, the same mechanic, right? You
Right,
can't,
right.
like, mill Fenrir and
Yeah.
activate its
Yeah.
effect. Unless you have Birth, of course. But, you know, just banning Fenrir, I think, is just, like, where... I think it'd just be good for the game.
I was
Like,
thinking of somebody
Fenrir
who's
is
passing
product
bannable
the
card.
sales,
Yeah.
you know, these new cards coming out. Like, everybody wants to play Horus, these Horus cards. They want to play these Chimera
I like them
cards.
Horus cards, I like them Chimera cards.
It ain't looking that good when your opponent's summoning a Rise Heart, right? And,
Exactly.
you know, do you want to ban a Rise Heart as a Starlight? You know, it's the main card of the archetype. Or just ban Fenrir. It's a splashable card that everyone, not everyone, but a lot of decks are using.
So do you think Fenrir banned is the way, or do you think just one Fenrir is the way? Gotta go?
It's got to go.
Gotta
Get
go.
rid of it. Like, yeah, they could probably put it to 1, and the deck would still be playable, and people would still be getting mad because, you know, their opponent opened 1 unicorn
Sure,
and then
sure.
full combo
They're still
them.
doing what they do, and they just don't get to drag the game out like they do.
Right, like,
But-
and
You still got Birth. You still once you get to the cards, you got access to the cards.
especially since the deck's becoming so cheap with the Megatons too, right?
Boy, let me tell you, my Cashier deck in my backpack, I've yet to play it, but it is cheap, bro. It is not worth
Yeah.
getting rid of.
You keep it until it dies.
Yeah, that's
that.
where I'm at with it. It's gonna sit there. It's gonna rot in there.
Then you play Cash Tier mirror matches for retro format. Nobody's doing that.
No.
I don't know about it.
I don't know
All
about
right,
that
all right, all right. So we gotta kill Fenriz's. We gotta kill the Arise Heart. Maybe not. We'll see. What else? We don't like Shifter.
Also, like, the other decks I would like to see hit other than Cash is Bestial cards.
Okay.
Magma Hut to 1 would be very nice. Like, Dragons is the deck that just keeps on giving. It's lasted forever. And just, like, give it a little hit. I
I
would
think
like to see
Mag
that.
to 1 is reasonable.
Yeah, I think considering how few Bestials the OCG have, and you know, we'll teach you could have them all willy nilly. I think if we even would just hit Magnum, I think that's a fair
'Cause, like,
reduction.
if you're like hitting this deck into the ground, then like those cards just like get infinitely better.
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be a point in time, right, where Bestial Magma Hut, like if they don't hit it, will literally be probably arguably the best card in the game again.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it
sure.
was in during tier format. The Bestials were just insane. It wasn't the best card, but you know what I mean. It's one of the best non-engine cards in the
Right.
game.
Because the $25 super, and like we don't have those anymore. You know.
Amen, though. No, you're right, though. I was crazy
So
to see next month those things.
So we're talking about banning cards. Is there anything you guys would like to see them take off the list or up that are like lower copies? That
Furry Archfiend to 3, Lavolvo Chain to 3. What other rank 4s are banned? I want all the rank 4s that
Fox
are
has got a
banned.
Christmas list, man.
Dryden
All
back
of
Thanks, have
again.
Bronco
Ooh,
mini yet?
that's
Yeah,
gracious.
Dryden, baby. Give me that
Back
broad,
again,
bro. Give me that
baby.
going. I'll summon some Zodiacs even if I'm not supposed to, bro. I'm not afraid. I'll
Why
make
would
bad
you summon
decisions.
Pearlies when you can summon rats?
That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. I'm a believer.
Lou, you talking about bringing back zoo cards, bro? Y'all can keep your current cats. I want my cat back.
Oh,
I need a meow back
No,
one,
sir.
bro. Yes,
I
sir.
think Meow could go back to one.
I need me a one, bro.
That's probably, but the second I have some Dirtle Bobs summoning
No,
great kids
come on now.
and
Don't
thinking
dirtle
real,
bomb me.
real hard about what their next play is going to be, and take a quick glance at that clock, and they put their hand, and I know Dirtle Bob, I know exactly what old boy's going to do.
That's
He knows
crazy.
exactly what old boy's going to do. He's going to wait that Lampsies looks real good. That Dropsies looks real good. And
Yeah,
I'm going to get cooked.
that was the worst part about that deck.
I basically missed any real events during like the existence of prank kids. And that is
I
one
mean,
thing
it was
that-
mostly remote.
I'll give you a chance to play. I'll give you a chance to play.
Okay,
You
Play
know what?
good,
You know what's
though.
crazy? Whenever I played the deck in Charleston,
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
I didn't go to time a single time.
I love to hear that.
You also play faster than like everyone else.
Again,
but-
Dirtle Bob
but
is
like-
the one beating
but-
me
Yeah.
with Lampsies.
Yeah,
not
but like
Logan.
what I'm saying is, I played like a majority was prank kids mirror matches, and no one was like trying to draw the card. That's what I'm
Good.
trying to say.
Okay.
But like it could have also just been my tournament experience. So,
And again, I didn't go to that YCS. I didn't play anything. I just played events around the shop, like when we had case tournaments, whatever. And sometimes you get paired up against Dirtle Bob, boy, and you know how he got that far. You know exactly how he got that far. All right, dude, you can have a kitty cat back. You can have one.
Let's go.
Other than that, I think Prosperity should be limited or semi-limited. It's
Yeah, let people play Desires again.
it's the best, probably the best spell in the game right now.
Prosperity's better than Pot of Greed.
Yeah.
In a lot of decks, man. Like
The power level of cards is so powerful nowadays, dude, that getting the right one is better than getting cards.
Especially
Yeah.
games 2 and 3, it just becomes infinitely better.
Yeah,
it's
that's why
similar
I'm
to
behind.
like what's like in Magic where like Dig Through Time was better than Treasure Cruise, right?
Exactly, but you get to go dig through. And if you don't know, you got to dig through a bunch of cards at the top of your deck with Dig Through Time and add 2 of them to your hand. But Treasure Crew lets you draw 3 cards. They're basically
Hey.
cheap free spells after certain criteria have been met.
Yeah.
But again, when you get to pick the cards, man,
Picking cards is a lot better
drawing
than
3
random.
sounds good, but man, picking the ones, that's
It deserves to get hit, but I don't want it to get hit.
I love the card,
Yeah,
but
the
like
card-
it is a love-hate relationship.
I think I would enjoy it getting hit because I think it built like, for example, it's really hard for me to play a deck that doesn't have Prosperity in the deck.
Well, I've recently been having a similar issue, right? I'm wanting to play decks, and it's like, man, I could just play this Prosperity deck that has a decent game 1, and after game 1, if I've got, some gas on the side, if I just if a certain game plan is good enough against a deck, I can more reliably hit that game plan. I don't know, man. I just feel like if I win game 1 and I'm playing a Prosperity deck, my chances of winning the match are so much higher than any other combination, right? Like,
Yeah, like if you do your combo or even half combo, right? They hand trap you a few times. You're like, sure, whatever. I'll set up 2 interruptions, activate Prosperity, and dig for this non-engine card that happens to be really good against your deck.
Yep.
Then there's literally like, it's just kind of unfun, man. It's just kind of lame. Like, you're playing Brandon and your opponent Prosperity's in their combo, and of course they're gonna add Ash Blossom.
Sure.
It basically searches the card.
exactly. Or after game 1, when you feel like you've dealt with the big issue at hand, and then they slam Prosperity and get some goofy non-engine card to cook you. Yeah, they had the D barrier off the top. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be.
Just looking at a fourth of your deck is just too much.
I hear you.
Like you're always gonna hit.
So, what placement do you think Prosperity needs to go to?
In the OCG, it's at 2. I would like to see it go to 2 and then like reevaluate afterwards.
2 Prosperity.
they
2
hit it to
Desires,
1
I think-
recently.
I think it's at 1.
Yeah.
It was at 2 for a long time, but I think they hit it this last list to 1.
Uh,
I think.
thing about the card is
I think eventually it should go to 1, but I don't want to see it to go to 1 yet. Just, let's slow it down.
I could see the card
We've
being
had it for like
banned.
2 years.
Yeah.
Like, if this card went from 3 to 0, it would not surprise me.
It's really good.
Like, that's how good I think that card is.
Yeah, I remember when it got revealed, and I thought this was like, this is not a Yu-Gi-Oh card, right? Like that is too good to be a Yu-Gi-Oh card. looking at 6 cards from 6 Yu-Gi-Oh cards, for how much they do.
The thing about that card that's always like made me want to keep it in the format is look at last big format, like the last big format change. The Tier 0 deck didn't play it, and it helped the other decks keep up with the Tier 0 deck.
It does.
Call.
Caw-caw. I mean, and Sprite and like basically everything else that wasn't Tier. Like it helped keep up with Tier because Tier was just so good.
I think Tier is an outlier because it's the best deck of all time, and I don't think they'll ever print decks like that again. Sure, there'll be Tier 0 formats again, but I don't think there'll be
when you watch a
Tier
Element
decks
cards
again.
resolve and watch a game play out with Tier Element cards, it's just like they work different, man.
Yeah.
You mean it's
Different
our
access.
turn?
Yeah.
So I think one thing I would like. This isn't really like Banlist. Maybe it is. Maybe a certain hand trap that's banned. I feel like right now the hand traps are pretty weak.
They're getting a little worse as
Like
the
I think in
format
like
shifts.
certain matchups, right? Like Droll's obviously insane against certain decks. Obviously Ash Blossom's good against like Branded or whatever. But I would like there to be like I don't know if I want Maxi back specifically, but it would be nice to like have that. Okay, I bricked or my combo got stopped or whatever. I have this card that like gives me another turn.
Yeah.
It
Usually it will buy you a turn. Like almost always.
So maybe they printed a new card that does that. It doesn't have to be like specifically Maxi, but I think that would be kind of cool. That like
Ban
I
Prosperity,
think
unban Maxi.
Some kind of
hey, that'd be tight.
like Wabaku-y, not neg one.
A lot of
would be
players
cool.
wouldn't know how to play.
Or a card that
brought
like
back
limited
Maxi.
your opponent's summons. That might be too powerful though.
But I mean, if it's like a Nibiru does that, right? But what if you just didn't tribute the monsters? You know what I'm saying? Like we already have a card that on paper
After they
limits-
summon
limits
5
summons,
after they summon 5 times, they just can't.
or something like that maybe. Or when your opponent summons 3 times, you can discard this card. They want to summon 2 more times this turn. I mean, it's random numbers, right? Because we're thinking of an example of Nibiru, but
Some kind of
who's to
hand
say they
trap
can't have a
summon
card
limit.
that works similar
Yeah.
to that, right? Like you've got to do some stuff. You still get to do some stuff. You're not just having to like stop in your
You
toes.
just-
You
you
can
need
end on
a little more
something,
oomph
but you're
to
not
it.
gonna be able to do everything. And that card existing could, a Vanadium deck that summons 15 times now won't be able to summon.
What
15
if they
times.
printed a
You know,
Maxi?
You play backup plans in your extra deck.
What if they printed a Maxi that says you can only activate this card if your opponent's special summoned X or more times this turn, or summoned X or more times this turn, and then it's just Maxi's text?
It's just throttled Maxi.
Yeah. So like, it fixes the problem of your
Min C instead of Maxi.
right.
Yeah,
Like
MC.
like you're playing your little weenie Burning Abyss deck,
Yeah.
and you get Maxi, and you just feel like you can't summon a Dante,
Yeah.
even though you only summoned 3
Sure,
times.
Exactly.
To end on a Dante, it's like, does that make any sense?
No, but if you
That'd be kind of cool.
after a few summons again, once you like commit to something and then you get put in a situation, you can like find a backup plan, or you can like start your turn in a way that you will have a backup plan.
The only problem with like cards with like that is like I go first, you have no interruptions, and then I still have this hand trap. Like you're not winning the game. Like that was the biggest
Yeah, I
problem
guess
with
you have to
Maxi.
keep adding custom text to your card if you opponent controls more. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Some crazy.
like
Now we're.
I think that was the biggest problem with Maxi is like your opponent didn't have it. You make your big board, and then you have Maxi on top of it. They just have 0% chance of winning like all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Speaking of new cards, though, Age of Overlord is not that far away.
No, I'm really excited for that. It's gonna be a fun.
Like a month and some change.
See, September, October. So a month and some change. Yeah.
Is there any exciting new cards you guys see? I don't know how much you guys have looked into
Far
it.
from it, the Dark Ruler, baby. I think it makes the Chimera deck a lot better. It's super sweet. I think all the Sinful Spoils, Diabell Star cards are bananas.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I think the Snake Eye cards are really cool. They're like weird sprites, like level 1 sprites that, kind of juggle in a weird way. Isn't it the Horus cards?
That's what I'm
Bro,
most excited
them cards
for.
are sicko
is Horus.
mode.
But like for those cards to shine, I'd like Shifter to go.
No, I hear you.
But I'm excited for that.
What you feel about that Visas main deck? Cool?
I mean, yeah, the Visa stuff is okay. It doesn't exactly fix any of the issues.
Good observation.
But
Yeah.
you know, maybe people decide to stop playing Droll.
They ought to. Anyway.
We all know the best
I'm
card.
excited
I
for
don't
Snake
know.
Eyes.
We all
So
know.
important about Vancouver right
He said
now.
yes.
I don't know.
I'm learning current format.
I am currently grinding. I don't have time to look at that trash right now.
We all know the best card in the set currently is the SP card.
Yeah.
Banana
It's
Bananas.
insane.
It's gonna be really good in our Weevu deck.
Woo!
I'm excited for that. I'm excited to actually play Rescue Ace Mirrors at Indy. I think that's gonna be fun to
I think there's
learn.
gonna be a lot of
and to,
rescue ace at Indy.
Because like in the game, mirror matches are always my favorite match because like you both know what you're doing and there's like just a different level of skill to it.
Big Mastery shines a lot in mirror matches.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
the player who has paid their dues and knows the most secret effects of their cards.
And I think that's going to be an interesting thing about Vancouver, right? It's going to show a different skill set because, at least from my experience, and I know a lot of you guys that's played at the regionals too, is this current format has been like just like a pie, bro. Just a,
Basically wide open.
It's been
bro.
insane.
We've had like 3 of the 4 tournaments were 9 rounds, and I didn't play a single matchup twice, all of them. And like after the first one of doing that, I was like, all right, Shifter's got to go back in. I can't handle all this rogue. But I don't really like formats like this. I like more of triangle formats. But I do think it's healthy for the game to have formats like this every now and then for new players to join.
I was about to say, I think, people who want to play events, I think a few decks is much better, but for the average duelist who, their priorities might not be in grinding or trying to achieve, some things we're trying to achieve, be able to play whatever deck you want to say, be able to pick up some cool combo that you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, that's way better.
I think
Player.
one cool thing is they did this during the off season, right? So they could
Yeah.
sell a lot of the cards because a lot of the cards are viable.
Sure.
Mega tins,
Yeah.
there's going to be a ton of cards in it.
We
If
also
you
got
want- if
the
you want to play
25th
dragons,
set coming up.
it's getting reprinted. Most of the expensive stuff. If you want to play cash, it's going to be in there. If you want to play labyrinth, a lot of the cards are in there.
Like me and Fox were talking about last night too. It's been like this for a while.
Yeah, man.
Like the format being this open it's been like this for like a year or more.
It went.
Yeah.
It went. Philly disappeared, and then we're back to the same format. It felt like cash and others. That's
Like
literally
Philly,
what it
I
is.
think
basically.
was like a triangle format.
See, that's what I thought too. But after Philly, I'm like
Because they hit the ban list that banned Scareclaw. Like, I think the format would be more concise if Super Heavy was still around. I know you all would wish
Dude,
that.
super heavy.
Game, boy, I'd be
I
cooking.
mean, I
No,
don't. I mean, I do love that deck. I think that deck was super
I
good.
like playing decks that I feel like I can accomplish anything as long as I know what my card can do.
I still think that deck was like. I think if that format had lasted a long time, I think super heavy would have been like up here, and cash would have been a little bit lower. You just had to do some problem solving and
I think
stuff like
once the
that to
format
fix some
kind
of
of
the problems.
fleshed itself out, I think it was a big thing. Like, we didn't have time for it to like mature.
And I think it shows, right? Because like Cash was doing its thing and it was the best deck before the format, but it wasn't gatekeeping like the Super Heavy Samurai deck was.
Yeah, dude. Again, I remember I was gonna play a Sprite deck for that event, and I was like, man, if I feel like if everyone feels like I have to make deck building decisions because this deck exists, I probably should just be playing the Samurai deck. And I picked it up, started playing it, I was like, yeah, this deck is crazy.
at Philly, I played one Super
Samurai?
Heavy Samurai.
I played like 4 or 5 mirrors.
I played 15
too.
rounds and I played one.
Yeah, no, I played 4 or 5 mirrors.
It's insane.
Played branded 3 times, I think. 4 or 5 mirrors.
I
played a few
only
branded
lost a rogue and one cash. That's all I lost to.
I lost to a cash deck round 2. I lost to the branded labyrinth deck. Those are my losses.
I
And I
lo-
lost to branded and top cut against Clifton.
See, all I played against, like, except maybe one, was Cash, Labyrinth, and Super Heavy. And, like, that was basically it.
I played against a lot of Labyrinth that event. That event I played against I think 3 Labyrinth.
Played
I think that was
2,
Labyrinth's best
3.
event because
Yeah.
that's such a good super heavy matchup.
Yeah.
I lost to one
Saratobi,
lab.
fool. That's my dog.
Yeah.
I lived on Saratobi, bro. That boy dang saved, dude. I'll pop. Birth, pop. Field spill, pop.
Yeah, that deck was terrifying. I'm glad I played against one, but that deck was terrifying.
No, it was sweet. I remember I picked up super heavy because I was like, I don't want to pick up cash and then get hit before nats, and then I pick up super heavy.
That's what
Right?
I said.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to buy super heavy after our cash
Joke's
gets hit, so
on
I'll
you.
just jump straight to super heavy, and then it got hit. I remember I lost round 2, and then they announced the list, and I was like, man, if I don't top this event, this is a real bad buy, bro. I bought 2 Reguluses, I went and bought a Baron, bro.
I had buys. I didn't even get to play the tournament yet, and they already banned my deck.
I was in the middle of game 3 against Noah, and they dropped that, and I was like, man, hey, this card's banned. You can't play this no more.
It was a good buy, though, turns out.
Yeah, well, I praised I couldn't Samurai again.
Other than that, man, I think like this format's really interesting. This last YCS Unchained, like,
Cooked.
It was old.
so I want to say Unchained dominated, but did it really? Because all the best players were just playing Unchained.
That's
So
what I was
that's-
thinking
so,
as
yeah.
well.
If all the best players were just playing Labyrinth, would Labyrinth have dominated? I don't know.
I think a
You
lot
know?
of those players, regardless of what decks they ended up choosing, would have gotten very, you know what I'm saying?
They would have
top that
still
event.
topped.
Exactly, but they're all absolute heaters. But, I mean, Unchained is good. The deck cooks. I think the more that I like
I
go fish
think
with it and mess
it
around
was-
with it does a lot.
I think it was like the way they took it was they're already like averagely better than their opponents, and then you play the new deck, and your opponents will misplay into it or like not exactly know how to play against it, and it just increases your chances more.
Additional cooking. Also, I think it had the matchups the deck has seems pretty solid.
Kamal won the YCS, his team with Ruben and Pac, and Kamal literally has been on Pearly forever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's been believing in it.
And like honestly, like I feel like he isn't like gave enough credit like in the game to be honest, because like what he has 2 wins,
Three.
3 wins.
Come
Yeah,
on,
he won
three.
the
Yeah.
road. He won with
YCS champion,
Yeah,
bro.
he won with
Yeah.
Mirrorless. He won with Pendulum, and then now he
Pendulum.
won with Pearly.
Yep.
Yeah,
He was 1 spot away from Worlds.
yeah.
I don't know if this is like a
First
true
after
number.
six.
I'm just speaking out of my
Sure.
I don't really see an event where he's like topping or like on the bubble very often. I don't see him lose out very
He's
early.
a first after Swiss. He's amongst
He's
the top
all-
6 or so.
always.
X1 at worst. Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, absolute beast.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I don't know what
Like,
like
you
that.
just always
Random
know
coaches, I need to look at that
Kamal's
meta
in
5.
there.
I need to get good.
Yeah, like,
I need to-
and it's just like people don't talk about like usually people will just say like, oh, Jesse's the best in the game and stuff like that now, which Jesse does do well a lot, but it's just like, there's other players that do well very
Absolutely
consistently.
insane, dude.
Charlie's one of those players. He does really well consistently over
Mhm.
multiple tournaments. I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's just been on this Pearly deck. He's one of the only there wasn't a lot of Pearly in the room at Nats, but
He did the
people-
best with it.
yeah, like the
early.
people who like had been playing Pearly, they did really
Cooking
well.
with it.
Mhm.
So speaking of that, Vancouver is this weekend.
Mhm.
The 3v3. I think it's gonna affect that.
I think Unchained is going to be very popular there.
Agreed.
And like we're gonna see like side deck choices and like even main deck choices reflect that. I don't think Unchained will win the event. But
Well,
like
we're
Yeah,
both
now that we
playing
all
cash,
play-
so
yeah, okay.
it's not going to win the event.
I think it could win, but it just
Y'all gotta be
depends.
unlucky.
Only if we punt the finals.
I think if people are respecting Unchained and they start taking books out of their deck,
Cashtira, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Cash and Pearly start going.
Stonks, bro. Stonks.
Yeah.
And then, like, we might, if people
just-
do decide to start doing that, people start taking all the books out of their deck, you might just start seeing, top 32, 10 cash, 6 Pearly,
It's Unchained.
everything else.
A little bit of
Yeah.
luck, yep.
2 of this, 2 of that, 3 Labyrinth, whatever,
It just depends on like how the room depicts the best
Mhm.
deck. So,
Which, coming off of the 3v3, I think the room's going to see it as Unchained. It was 30% of top 32.
Mhm.
top 48.
Top 48. So
Yeah.
30% of top 48 was on chain. That's like what 12 or 16? Like 16. And then 13% Pearly, 13% cash. So it's like way higher. It was more represented than cash and Pearly. So I think people are gonna see that and like play into that being like the reality of Vancouver.
Yeah.
So one thing I do want to say, if you guys are planning on, which you guys are obviously planning on going to Vancouver, but people are watching, don't get caught playing last week's deck.
Yeah.
Stay moving.
Yep.
You got to be ahead of the curve. You're not going to win with predicting last week's metagame. You're going to win by predicting this week's metagame.
Yep.
So, like, for example, one thing that, I don't care to talk about this. I was playing in the last regional was I was playing enemy controller in my Pearly deck. And it was insane. Like, specifically if you think there's going to be a lot of Pearly mirror matches. Enemy controller's insane because they're playing cross out for Book of Moons and stuff. And this gets around it because you activate your Pearly spell during the draw phase, and then you chain it to their trap, and their trap fizzles. You take their guy. You're probably going to be able to make an Awar under it because it already has 4 materials. My round 1, I played against my only Pearly, and I made an Awar on him twice without going into any other cards in my extra deck the entire match. I only summoned Big Noir out of my extra deck with his Pearly monsters twice, and 2 of them.
It's crazy.
Goodness.
So I think it's a really cool card. So
It's tight.
just a cool tag.
If I end up playing pro this weekend, I'm 100% going to have enemy control on my deck. Be ready for it.
It's also a really good line of defense too. Like if you playing against Cash, 'cause I've seen some Cash builds playing enemy or playing cross out. So like if they book a moon your guy after you trap or whatever, right? You just need to live a turn. They summon Fenrir. You can econ tribute your set guy, take their Fenrir. It gives you an interruption and it takes away their body.
Yeah,
I think
exactly
crossout's
what
going to be even more popular since Kamal won with crossout on the D barrier. Won the YCS doing that. And like all the other Pearly players were playing crossout that I saw do well.
There were some cash players playing crossout as well.
The
I've
rescue.
seen a lot of
the
popularity.
rescue ace guy that-
from Hector Perez.
Yep.
So
Things
like
down
that's
like
just
this
something to
back
think about, like your hand trap lineup. Maybe there's a different card that's not as good, but it's like always gonna do its thing. It's just something to think about.
Man, when are we going to see some evenly match, man? I feel like
was
like
thinking about
times
bro.
like this is like when you would see a card like evenly match, right? Because like evenly match either goes from like a god card or awful, right? And like
It's
right
very
now,
bipolar.
people are just like setting back, bro. Even like the
They're
Pearly
going for
players,
set
bro.
books, set imperms. They're dang setting engine,
Yeah.
bro. They ain't
And,
scared
like,
nothing.
Even the
Unchained.
Unchained, like yeah, they can kind of play around it, but you're dealing with 75% of their board.
Yeah.
Lose your battle phase, but if you don't need that to capitalize, then you know what I'm saying, you're in a spot.
Yeah,
I think Labyrinth is probably the best position deck to like play evenly matched right now.
or like a runic.
Or a runic deck.
I think there's some really cool runic decks I've been seeing in the woodwork that I'm quite interested in trying. There's a Vanquish Soul version that I saw, and this guy's list did not make sense, but I see the vision. And being able to use your Vanquish Souls and your runics to make the Dempsey guy to get Raisin is tight. But then that's also got me on this kick where I want to make rank 4s with runics anyway, and try to find a way to do the best rank 4 with a runic.
I mean, Abyss Dweller is probably going to be like an insane card, right?
Moving forward, it's getting a lot better.
Because if you do think you're going to play against a lot of Unchained, which I'm not saying you will, so don't like take this with like I don't think you're going to play that many Unchained. I think the format's too wide.
I agree.
But let's say you do come to that decision yourself. Abyss Dweller is super powerful.
yeah.
You Abyss Dweller that deck, it's game. I was telling Luke before you guys showed up, if you guys wanted a hand trap that would destroy that deck, Skullmaster. It's really good against that deck.
I like the Monster a lot. I was actually using it in Unchained previously.
Yeah.
Use a Fiend. I can normal summon it to make Yama sometimes, which is like I can't have it with hands where my I could not resolve a Yama, but I could if I can normal summon an Ash and make a Yama. If I had a Link monster, I could do it, but just summoning Skullmaster is rough, which I thought was
I think Unchained for me at least is like the boogeyman. Need to get some more practice in against it and stuff, and really dive into that matchup before the YCS. I mean, that's always with the new decks that are like very good. Or like this one's kind of different because it's kind of a sleeper, like on release, and like it was also released in the middle of the summer with no events. So after the first event, it doing really well. You just gotta give him more respect.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna know what that deck does at the YCS. You know what I mean?
With some respect.
Luckily, I got some testing against our teammate Joe, and
Joe put me on that.
Joe's been on that since the beginning.
yeah, like I knew what all the cards did, so every time I played again at a regional, I literally crushed it. Like it wasn't even close. Like I was playing Rescue Ace. I played Rescue Ace the entire except this most recent event, and literally the combo I was doing against that deck is I was summoning Apollo turn 1 with 4 sets and passing, and they just crumble.
Cooked.
They can't do anything. You know, you pop their guy, they activate, you negate it. You get all their guys in hand, they can't do anything. Speaking of, you know, decks that might resurge, I think Mana Dome. It would not surprise me if it like did really well because I am not like people are siding Droll, but I've seen a lot of people starting to cut Droll even from their side deck.
Yeah.
Same.
I personally, I've not been. I was against Droll at the beginning of the format. Most of the time when we get into a format where like there is a combo deck that people are scared of, and Droll is very good against the combo deck and decent against some other matchups. Like I'm usually one of the first people to be like, yeah, whatever, Droll's come out of my deck. I'm not. It takes a very particular deck for me to want to play Droll and Lockbird in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm currently off of it.
The deck's definitely scary when people aren't just like 100% prepared for it. So
Yeah, I've played against one Vanadium, 1 or 2 out of the 40 matches I played this month, and that was the only match I've put in Droll, and like it's always taking up those 3 slots, so maybe should be allocated to better. But I was always scared of that deck.
I mean, if you play against it, and like for example, like right now, I don't even like Infinite Impermanence. I know like some people do like it. I don't. I think Infinite Impermanence is super weak.
The amount of books you have floating around, man, still. Imperm can be good, but goodness gracious, when they dodge it, man, it feels real silly.
I see a bunch of cashless that are playing 3 lands, bro.
Crossouts are everywhere, like.
So like even if you hold it for your turn, you imperm them, it never works.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't like hand traps at all right now, and if I don't like hand traps right now, I really like the combo deck that doesn't want to see hand traps. If that makes any sense. Like if people are thinking like I am and they don't want to play hand traps, being on the combo deck seems like the right move.
Yeah. Well, that is a direction definitely to be going into.
I think the only problem with that is you're thinking too competitively.
Sure.
Whereas like little Timmy, he just looks at the deck list that's doing well. This is his first event, and he's gonna put in all these hand traps, and then you're gonna lose to the to that player. And like, especially at big events, like your first 3 or 4 rounds are gonna be against less competitive people, like more often than not.
An observation I've made about a lot of the events that I've been playing in the last year, I'd say, is that most of my losses, in no shade to my opponents, come from opponents that I think are pretty obviously like less skilled.
Yeah.
But I do find that like in those same events, the players that like have proven to be worthy opponents are the ones that I'm besting. Whereas again, I'm getting cooked by Old Boy Down, Twin Twister and me in 2023.
Yeah.
Look at your playtesting
in
partners.
2023.
yeah.
Like, look at your playtesting partners. That's what you're playing against, right?
Right.
That's probably the reason. I think that's what you were saying too, right?
Yeah.
It's just
You're used to playing against
like in a
those, really
perfect
competitive
vacuum,
people.
if like you're always playing against like better people or people just as good as you think you are and stuff, like at the higher level, sure, like certain decks and like cards work better, but like not everyone has the time to devote to figure that out.
Yeah, that as well as interest. It's just some people are on the same goals, same game plan as you are. There's a lot of people I've played deeper into YCS last year again that have been, man, I'm just in here having a good time, and I'm happy to be this far. There's a lot more that you need to realize.
You say that though, which yes, I agree with it, but we've also seen in the past where people rolled the dice, done that, and the payoff's like down here, up here.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Like you line up against no one that's playing Droll. You win 75%, 80% of your dice rolls.
Sure. When it's your day, it's your day.
You get an ultra prize
That's all I'm
card.
saying, you know what I'm saying?
We've seen it happen multiple times.
Like, I think combo is like the scariest thing in Yu-Gi-Oh, and when combo is well positioned, I think people will figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you. When it's time, and they'll know.
Well,
God, Logan,
That's-
that playmat's nice. Look at that thing.
Thank you.
Well, we got a bunch of people with 94s now.
Yeah, I'm over here. I got this Armageddon Night mat. I'm blessed with it. But
I don't know,
goodness
man. We're
gracious.
missing 4 right here.
Oh, at the table. Yeah. Well, Fox has you have 94, right? It's just not one of
This is
these.
the best fancies I'm ever gonna get.
Is
I got rid
your
of it.
Elite not a
It was a
94?
99.
It was a
I
99.
got rid of it back in
It was as close as you could get.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not really true, but
It's
it's close.
I like laying it down and then throwing my rubber mat on top of it. You know what I'm saying? That was my
so it gives it a cotton back.
Yeah, exactly, bro. You know, I got a little elevation, damn king of the damn table.
Oh, man.
That's amazing.
Nah, it was fun.
I guess we can close out with predictions. If you obviously cannot name yourself, but what deck do you think will win YCS Vancouver? Start Fox.
Okay, so I think we could have a pretty obvious, like, one of the 3 decks that we've talked about being a high winner, right? Cash, Pearly, or Unchained. But honestly, man, it's Vancouver. I'm very open for. I ain't gonna say Grandmadre gonna win it, but some goofy gonna damn get beat.
He's just got to go a little north.
That's what I'm saying, brother. I don't know how many hours it is, but it's a little drive away. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm spooked by what crazy stuff can come up. I'd love to see. I don't know if I'm not Rescue Ace. 'Cause I don't feel like that's the YCS winning deck right now, but
Hey,
You running hot.
you draw nice. Like when that deck plays, bro.
I learned when you open that field spell. I'm cooking.
Shout out.
No,
PJ Freeman.
PJ, boy.
If you was drawing like I was this past weekend, bro, sheesh.
He said all you got to do is
Not break.
Not kick the ball.
not only
Yeah.
kick the ball, but kick it every single time you get the opportunity to kick the ball.
That was a 60-yard clean and good, bro.
He did punt very
Four
bad.
times. 4 times.
I
Too
love
many
that.
times.
This many chances to win. This many chances
Look,
to lose.
look,
I like this one.
It was a long day. It was the last round.
But so,
Everybody's watching me. I
what
got
deck do you
stage
think's
fright.
gonna win?
Man, I'm just gonna call it Cash. I believe in Tavion. This boy been cooking. I'm gonna say Cash and double down on Tavion playing Cash. All right.
Crazy.
Crazy.
I think it is either going to be Cash or Unchained. I think Pearly is got a lot better, but I don't. I can only see a couple people winning with Pearly. But definitely like one of those 3 decks. I don't think any random deck's gonna win.
If it's not Cash, I think something really weird. Like, I don't know, like a Rico or something, man. Just something out of the blue that just ain't nobody gonna prep for. Like, they're gonna over prep for this and then be like, haha, I got this, you lose, you know. So,
That's what you're saying is Grandmadre.
no.
I think Red Madri's winning damn YCS Vancouver 2023.
It's crazy.
It would be crazy.
Anyway.
Crazy.
All right, Luke, what you think?
I think it's
Bubba?
Cash. But if not Cash Unchained, I'm with Tavion. I think Cash because it's the best deck. Still, I think. But I think that Unchained, because of last weekend, is going to be really represented. So I think maybe that.
It's like the only people with Pearly I think that could win would be like Chris or Kamal again, or like Hani or one of those from that group. Like they've been playing Pearly forever. But like other than them, I don't really see a Pearly winning, and then it's just between one of those 2 decks.
I think Kamal's coming back to back.
That'd be. I literally started after we started talking about this. I was like, what if, man? What if?
I think Kamal's gonna go back to back. I think he's gonna win two YCSs in a row. Spin his name into
Be a
YCS 3.
full-
I'm just saying that because I have
YCS
Pearly in my
champion
hand, to be
back.
honest. But if I was being real, Cash is probably gonna win. I think if someone plays Rescue Ace and plays it well and draws well and gets good matchups, I think the deck is insane.
I think if the deck has its day, that deck is not one I want to be.
No, I honestly, if you draw engine every game, and draw balanced hands every single game, I think it's like among the top 3 decks,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
I think the only reason
I think it's top 2 decks.
The only reason I don't believe in that deck sometimes is failure rate, but also past Age of Overlord, I think the failure rate goes down like significantly, bro.
Yeah.
Almost non-existent at that point.
So yeah, I think Pearly's gonna win. Only because I don't think the deck hasn't won an event yet, like a YCS. That besides the 3v3, but I'm saying like a singles YCS hasn't won.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm just hoping Cash doesn't win, more or less.
I think Cash is going to win one more.
It's gonna get banned either
Go
way.
out to the sunset.
Yeah, it's gonna get banned either way. We need to win one more. We need one more.
I'm just hoping everybody has Nibiru's in their deck and everybody plays it. And then like that one Pearly guy, they're
Yeah, that's
prepared.
what I was
You know what I
thinking.
mean?
Everyone gets ready for these on-chain decks and these cash decks, and they got a little book of Eclipse. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of Pearly deck slipping around. I'm just saying, slippy kitties, slippy kitties.
If you go against a Pearly deck and you don't have books in your deck, that matchup feels
very
Unwinnable.
uphill
way
battle.
worse.
Very uphill battle. Not where you want to be at.
So yeah, that's my vote. I think Pearly's going to win the YCS.
All right.
Well, that's it, I guess. We will be back next week to tell you either how happy we are about winning this trophy right here. I'll Photoshop it in next week. Or how sad we are about not winning the
I
trophy.
want to see you boys with another verse playmats.
Or how sad Luke is that he got 4th place at YCS.
Oh, man, I may not be here. I may not be here.
He's moving to Canada.
Nah, they just swerve us off the road. I don't know.
Like you said, Swervis, like the discard when you're talking to Monster Negate.
If you're swerving us, I'm really concerned because you guys are flying back.
We're flying back to Nashville. Oh my gosh, little story time before we go.
Little post.
We were flying out of we were flying like round trip from Atlanta.
So we have Luke buying the ticket for us.
No, wait. I booked this our trip last week. What? When did we book our trip? Like
It's
2
like
weeks
Friday?
ago? It was like last Friday?
I think so.
Okay, like
Thursday or
really
Friday.
late, man.
Yeah.
Like late last week. And then like Tuesday, I get an email that says, wait, no, it wasn't this last Friday, it was the Friday before. So it was like a week and a half ago. So then last like Tuesday or Wednesday, I get an email that says, your flight's been canceled. And I'm like,
Oh, you're forgetting the
Cool.
original story.
Okay, wait, it's fine. It's fine.
No.
It's fine.
So he starts booking, we're going to go to
Okay.
Atlanta and come back. And then he gives me the uh-oh in the Discord. And I was like, what are we uh-ohing? And he's like, oh, we're returning to Nashville. We're flying out of Atlanta. I was like, okay, how's this going to work? How we going to get to and fro? And he said, don't worry, my dad's going to drive us. We'll be all right. And I was like, okay, as long as it works.
Listen, and then they hit us with your flight got canceled. So like the flight to Vancouver got canceled. And I was like, this is perfect, man. I can just buy us a flight out of Nashville, so we'll be going like to and from Nashville, so we can just drive. Mm-hmm. And well, they were sold out. No flights from Nashville, so we're going to Atlanta. And my dad is great.
Shout out Luke's dad.
Yeah, shout out my dad. It was rocky, but we got there. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We ain't got there yet.
We ain't got there yet. We're getting there.
Well, you guys will be winning prize cards, and me, Guud, and Fox here will be
I'll be
battling
regional,
for
man.
16 points at a regional.
Whoa,
24?
24. We looked it up before. It's 24.
Caps is
Caps is
32. We looked it up
That's
earlier.
that's right.
Ooh.
That's right.
200
Yep.
is 32
That's
invites.
worth playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will be taking all 32 of those points.
I'm hoping to at least get a top 16. I'll be the first person 200 points. I think that would be crazy.
That'd be sick.
I want to win more matches than my last YCS, so I have to get top 8. That's my goal.
If I get top 16, though,
You
lose-
have to do at least better than Noah.
That's crazy.
He was 8th, right?
Noah's only got
Yeah,
top
he was
8.
8th. Okay,
Yeah.
so Okay, I'll get top 4. All right, I'll
I'm
get
pretty
4th.
sure if I win,
I'll
I
get
hit
4th.
90, so
I'll get 4th. I'm decided.
90 points is hot.
We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.